by the sheep we watch at night, glad tidings brought, an angel bright.
How great our joy!
Great our joy!
Joy, joy, joy!
Joy, joy, joy!
Praise we the Lord in heaven high.
Praise we the Lord in heaven on high. There shall be born, so he did say, in Bethlehem a child today.
How great our joy!
Great our joy!
Joy, joy, joy!
Joy, joy, joy!
Praise we the Lord in heaven high.
Praise we the Lord in heaven on high. This gift of God will cherish well, that ever joy our heart shall fill.
How great our joy!
Great our joy!
Joy, joy, joy!
Joy, joy, joy!
Praise we the Lord in heaven high.
Praise we the Lord in heaven on high.
Caroling, caroling near and far, Christmas bells are ringing. Following, following yonder star, Christmas bells are ringing. Sing we all this happy morn, oh, the King of heaven is born. Ding dong, Christmas bells are ringing. Christmas bells are ringing.
Did you know the original concept of a carol had nothing to do with Christmas? Festivals like May Day had carols also.
The word carol refers to a type of circle dance and did not include any musical reference at all. It was a major element in celebrations marking the passing of the winter solstice and the promise of spring. The music was added later.
The official church frowned on the popular song dances, and they were banned in the 7th century. The songs themselves were banned in 1209 and were still considered as negative by the church as late as 1435.
The medieval church took over the practice of caroling and used religious-themed carols in Easter and Christmas celebrations.
Most religions were against the practice of a song dance type of caroling because of the rowdy celebrations that went with them.
Composers all over Europe started to write carols, but in Latin, which the people couldn't understand, and by the Middle Ages, most had lost interest in celebrating Christmas.
But outside the church, as early as the 13th century and as late as the 18th century, street sellers sold carol sheets to passerbys at Christmas time.
Songs like these were often heard among the common people.
Deck the halls with boughs of holly, fa la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be jolly, fa la 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 la. Fill the world with sounds of Christmas, fa la 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 la. Sing, for God Himself is with us, fa la la la.
crescendo as it fills the earth.
Sing we Noel, the King is born Noel. Sing we now of Christmas, sing we all Noel. Sing we all Noel. Come ye lofty, come ye lowly, let your songs of gladness ring. In the stable lies the holy, in the manger rests the King. See in Mary's arms is sleeping Christ, the highest heaven adored. Come and see the angels keeping his around the living Lord. Come ye now in celebration, come rejoice and praise his name. Go and tell to every nation, Christ the Lord is born today. Come ye people, join the chorus, join the angels as they sing. Come and see who lies before us, worship now the King of Kings. Come ye people, join the chorus, join the angels as they sing. Come and see who lies before us, worship now the King of Kings. Worship now the King of Kings.
Amen.
1400 to 1550 was the heyday for English caroling, but because of some of the non-biblical topics, they were suppressed in England after the 16th century Reformation.
But they were partly reinstated when Charles II ascended England's throne.
Throughout Europe, carols were a permanent part of Christmas tradition by the 16th century.
From France we have Angels We Have Heard on High, All Holy Night, Bring the Torch, Jeanette Isabella, Pat a Pan, and O Come All Ye Faithful.
Silent Night, O Christmas Tree, and Away in a Manger came from Germany.
America has produced Jingle Bells, We Three Kings, Up on the Housetop, and Hark the Herald Angels Sing.
England gives us Good King Wenceslas, Joy to the World, Good Christian Men, O Come Emmanuel, God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen, Deck the Halls, and Here We Come Wassailing.
What's
Wassailing?
Wassailing is the Old English word for singing Christmas carols.
Oh.
Peasants would sing door to door in exchange for food and drink.
Later, the practice degraded to a more trick-or-treat type of attitude of vandalizing those who refused the rowdy, drunken wassailers.
This is the meaning behind the last verse of We Wish You a Merry Christmas. Bring some figgy pudding. We won't go until we get some with a smile of good cheer.
In the United States, the Puritans did not agree with celebrating Christmas.
So when the Mayflower landed at Plymouth Rock in 1620, the celebration of Christmas was generally discouraged.
In 1659, a law was passed that outlawed the celebration in public or private with a 5-shilling fine or a whipping as punishment for violators.
The law was changed in 1681, though Puritan opposition remained in New England.
Alabama recognized Christmas as a legal holiday in 1836.
While Boston didn't until 1856, with Boston children still attending school every 25th of December until 1870.
The last state to make Christmas a legal holiday was Oklahoma in 1890.
Who knew there was so much to such a simple tradition? Today, caroling is the commonplace, and the holy season is richer for it.
I'm so thankful it lasted through all the difficulties.
Me too.
So sit back and enjoy the stories of music tonight, remembering that some of this music had a pretty hard time getting to us.
But it has lasted because it was inspired by the true meaning of Christmas.
The birth of Christ.
The birth of Christ was foretold hundreds and even thousands of years before it actually happened.
When Jesus was born, he fulfilled hundreds of prophecies that told of remarkably specific places, people, and events.
In Genesis, God promised Abraham that the Messiah, who would bless all the nations of the earth, would come through him.
But didn't Abraham have 2 sons?
Yes, he did. Their names were Isaac and Ishmael.
But God had already told Abraham that the deliverer of man would come through Isaac.
So was Isaac the father of the Messiah?
Not by far. When God promised Abraham these things, it would still be about 1,800 years until Christ would come.
Wow, that's pretty amazing.
But God got even more specific. Isaac had two sons also, Jacob and Esau.
God had chosen Jacob, and he made it clear that he had chosen Jacob.
But Jacob had 12 sons.
12 sons?
Yes, 12 sons.
When Jacob was dying, he called all of his sons to his bedside and prophesied specifically about each one of them.
And about 1,700 years before it came true, Jacob prophesied that his son Judah would bring forth the Messiah.
So time moved on, and each of Jacob's 12 sons had kids of their own, and those kids had kids, until 1,000 years later a prophet named Isaiah pointed out a single family that was descended from Judah. And there shall come forth a rod out of the stem of Jesse, and a branch shall grow out of his roots, and the Spirit of the Lord shall rest upon him, the Spirit of wisdom and understanding, the Spirit of counsel and might, the Spirit of knowledge and of the fear of the Lord.
This is still over 700 years before Jesus came to earth.
Hey, do you recognize the name Jesse?
Jesse, wasn't he King David's father?
Yes, he was.
So God picked one man's family out of a whole tribe, all the sons of one man, and all in perfect fulfillment of a specific promise God made to Abraham.
Was David Jesse's only son?
Oh no, he had at least 8.
Jeremiah prophesied 600 years before the birth of Christ, and here is what he said. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will raise unto David a righteous branch, and a king shall reign and prosper, and shall execute judgment and justice in the earth.
So, as far back as 1,800 years, God told us how Jesus would be born? Wow, that's so amazing.
Yes, it is. But that doesn't even begin to cover all the prophecies that were fulfilled at the birth of the young Messiah.
The time of his birth, events that would happen around the time of his birth, and many, many other details were foretold hundreds of years before they happened.
The prophet Isaiah went into amazing detail as to many events in the life of Jesus. For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. Of the increase of his government and peace there shall be no end, upon the throne of David and upon his kingdom, to order it and to establish it, with judgment and with justice from henceforth, even forever. The zeal of the Lord of hosts will perform this.
His glorious name shall be called Wonderful. His
6th month, the angel Gabriel was sent from God unto a city of Galilee named Nazareth, to a virgin espoused to a man whose name was Joseph, of the house of David, and the virgin's name was Mary. And the angel came in unto her and said, Hail, thou that art highly favored, the Lord is with thee, blessed art thou among women. Fear not, Mary, for thou hast found favor with God. And behold, thou shalt conceive in thy womb, and bring forth a son, shall call his name Jesus. He shall be great, and shall be called the Son of the Highest. And the Lord God shall give unto him the throne of his father David. And he shall reign over the house of Jacob forever, and of his kingdom there shall be no end.
What a great prophecy. Not really a prophecy, but a proclamation of what was going to happen.
Imagine an angel coming to you and giving you information like this.
I don't think that I can.
His name was called Jesus, and his name was given to him by God himself.
she brought forth her firstborn son, and wrapped him in swaddling clothes, and laid him in a manger.
Love has come, a light in the darkness. Love explodes in the Bethlehem skies. See, all heaven has come to proclaim it. Hear how their song of joy arises. Love, love, born unto you a Savior. Love, love, glory to God on high. Love is born, come share in the wonder. Love is God now asleep in the hay. See the glow in the eyes of his mother. What is the name? Her heart is saying love, love, love is the name. She whispers love, love, Jesus Emmanuel. Holy night, the stars are brightly shining. It is the night of the dear Savior's birth. Long lay the world in sin and error pining, till he appears and the soul felt his worth. A thrill of hope, the weary world rejoices, for yonder breaks a new and glorious morn. Fall on your knees, oh, hear the angel voices, oh, divine, oh, night when Christ was born, oh, night, oh, holy night, oh, night divine. Truly he taught us to love one another. His law is love, and his gospel is peace. Chains shall we break, for the slave is our brother, and in his name all oppression shall cease. Sweet hymns of joy in grateful chorus raise we. Let all within us praise his holy name. Christ is the Lord. Oh, praise his name forever. His power and glory evermore proclaim. His power and glory evermore proclaim. His power and glory
And when they had seen
white,